Well, hey everyone, I'm Stu Benson from Benson Auctions, and I've asked your agent to send you this video because you fall into one of two categories of sellers right now in the market. The first category is currently on the market right now. We locked in an auction date, anticipating that we'd hold your auction on site, and based on the current lockdowns, it's looking like we'll be having to host your auction online. The second category of seller has perhaps engaged an agent, signed an agency agreement, and you are at the moment styling your property, getting it ready for market, but now you're unsure as to when you should go to market because the lockdowns keep getting extended and your auction may very well be online. So to break this down, demystify the online auction process, and to answer some of the questions that you might rightfully have, I'll delve into the mechanics of the online auction forum shortly, but quickly I'll step back and just remind everybody why your agent, and indeed myself, recommend auction as a method of sale. And it actually has nothing to do with online, on-site, morning, noon, night, Saturday, Sunday, sunny, raining. The auction process is simply a method of sale and a structure that affords the buying marketplace the fundamental drivers to get us to auction day and to get you the best possible price. And that works online, on-site, or an in-room situation. It doesn't matter. The process applied to the marketplace will result in delivering you the best current real-time price for your home. And protected by your reserve, you decide whether or not you accept that or not. So the first layer of the auction campaign is the deadline to perform. Your auction date. We set that in stone and we let the public know that this is the day that this property will sell. Now that's not to say that we can't sell prior with an offer that is just wildly above your expectations, too good to refuse, or just simply above everybody else in the market who has given you feedback throughout the campaign. We call that an auction stopping offer for a reason. It's an offer that you would take and accept to sell your property prior. And you can do that whether or not your property is going to an online auction or on site. However, that deadline, that auction date, allows the majority of the buyers to do their homework, to compare your property to others, to come back and inspect it a couple of times privately during these COVID lockdowns, to speak to their banks and their financiers, to make sure that they've had pest and building reports done. And so that come auction day, they're comfortable, they know where they see value, and now it's time to hear where the rest of the buyers see value as well, and then find out whether or not they've got the budget or perhaps the ability to go over their budget to secure your home. So the deadline is the first layer of the auction campaign, and whether or not your auction's on site or online doesn't change that. The second layer of an auction campaign is intense exposure over that 4-week period. We're able to do that, of course, via domain.com.au and realestate.com.au, database marketing, social media marketing, and private inspections. Again, all of these can happen whether or not your property is being taken to auction on site or online. Indeed, both domain.com.au and realestate.com.au are reporting seasonal and historic spikes in online inquiry, click-throughs and engagement with their listings right now, as well as a swift and sharp uptake in email inquiries through to agents. Buyers who are looking at property are at home right now. They've got the time to do research. They might be on the clock with their pre-approval and they simply have to buy. Maybe they've sold pre-lockdown and their settlement is looming. Maybe they put their plans on hold in 2020 to upgrade, to downsize, to buy that dream house in that dream neighborhood. And now that they've got job security because the economic grey cloud of 2020 has dissipated, we know that we're simply in a health and safety lockdown. Most people have job security, that pre-approval is assured, and they want to buy. Your home will be on the market and available for them to inspect. Now, yes, we won't be able to have traditional open homes as you would currently know them, and that is a half an hour window on a Saturday and Sunday to usher people through your front door. You've got to remember the mix of people who do come through open homes. More often than not, you've got the mix of neighbours, people who have just started their property journey and will be nowhere near ready to transact and compete in 4 weeks' time anyway. You've got people who've just recently bought and they just want that reaffirmation that they bought well. Or those people who live in the suburb, they want to check out as a barometer where your property sits, does it compare to theirs, and if they were to sell, what sort of money might they get? When we distill and refine all of that down, we're left with the genuine buyers. the ones who will pick up a telephone to talk to an agent, send a text message or an email. Those people can still come through your property one-on-one. So come auction day, we are going to have registered bidders, again, on site or online. So phase 2 of the process, still assuring you everything that you would expect from an auction campaign. Phase 3, the third level of an auction campaign, is the unconditional sale off the back of transparent negotiation. And again, online or on site, you are guaranteed that. What that means as a seller, protected by your reserve, is that if you do meet the market, the gavel falls and the property is sold via a streaming platform or on your front yard, the price is locked in, the sale can't fall over, there's no cooling off period afforded to the buyer, you've got your price, your property is sold. On the flip side of that coin, the buyer knows that their search is over. They've locked in the property. Not only that, they've placed one bid above the rest of the marketplace to secure it. So they're validated in paying market value because the transparent process and forum allowed them to see, hear and feel what other people thought their home or their future home was worth. That validates each and every bid, and that's why on auction day we get the best, because the buyer feels empowered by the rest of the market validating each bid they place. And yet, guess what? We can do that online as well. So the 3 fundamental aspects and drivers of the auction process remain. So let's quickly talk about the online auction process. What do I do and how do we get it online? Well, the easy question to answer is there's no impact on you. As your auctioneer, I will jump onto your agent's website, I'll take all the photographs of your property, I'll jump into the back end of Auction Now, which is the platform that I am using to stream my auctions because it's been tried, tested, used robustly through the lockdown of 2020. It's been built by auctioneers and real estate agents, and it's got all the legislation and logistics built into it to ensure that all boxes are ticked in terms of compliance. Once I have those photos, I create a unique listing for your property, and that link is sent to all of our prospective purchasers. When they load that link up on their screen, they will see a listing that looks very much like a domain.com.au or a realestate.com.au listing. It's aesthetically appealing. It has an image carousel that circulates your property photos through it. And at the very top of the page is a register to bid button. Clicking that register to bid button will take the bidder to a landing page to input their driver's license, their passport, their identification, their name, their address, just like they would at a regular auction. Once they submit that application to become a bidder on your online auction, your agent is sent an email to check and validate that that detail and information is correct. Once approved to bid, you've gotten yourself a bidder, and throughout the campaign, we'll have multiple bidders approved and ready to bid. On auction day, I will use the back end of the Auction Now program to send broadcast messages reminding them that the auction is today. The auction is in half an hour. Please move to your computer. In 10 minutes time, I'm about to start. Sitting in front of their computer, looking at the carousel of your property on the link that they've been sent, I will click on my laptop the commence auction button, and that image carousel will turn into a live broadcast of me here in my studio. I'll welcome them to the auction. A calculator will pop up in front of them so that they can type in their bids throughout the auction, and indeed I'll run them through a test bidding scenario before we get things underway to ensure that their connection, their Wi-Fi, their broadband, their ADSL is working, they can hear me and they can see me. Once I'm satisfied that they can use the calculator, they can place their bids, we'll get the auction underway. The bidding calculator also has big chunky bids for them to place as well if they simply need to keep up with the flow of the auction, and typing the bids in is arduous and taking too long. Those increments might be 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000, making sure that they can keep in the flow of the auction. And bearing in mind that we are online and some people might have a second or so with lag, I'm not going to drop the gavel too quickly. I'm going to make sure that at the end of the auction, based on your reserve, we're going to sell it for the highest and best price. And throughout the auction, I'll also have one of my earpods in my ear, a direct line of communication to you as you will be sitting with your listing agent either in their office or at your home watching the whole auction live stream with a direct line of communication to me. So if we need to deviate, duck, weave, or adjust, I'll get those instructions off you in real time and continue the show, continue the auction, and continue soliciting competition. Once the gavel falls, just like an on-site auction, the property is sold. I congratulate our highest bidder and I thank everybody else for their bidding participation. Two things after that can happen. We can send them a contract via the Auction Now platform, and your buyer can sign that and send it straight back. We're exchanged and done. Alternatively, if your agent would prefer, they can get in the car, they can drive to the buyer and have them physically sign, or invite the buyer to the office and have them do the same. But the property will be sold, the auction process worked, and the medium afforded everybody the potential to give it their best and to try and secure your home. Ultimately, only one person will have enough to take it off the market, but will do so legally, in real time, giving everybody a chance to put their best offer forward. It's as simple as that. I'm confident in the process and I'm confident in the medium. I've auctioned plenty of auctions online to wild success, huge amounts of bidders, and some fantastic prices. Quite simply, online auctions work. I'm confident in my ability as an auctioneer, and more than confident in your agent's ability to deliver me the ingredients that I need to get your property sold. Ultimately, that is the buyers. We have a platform in Auction Now that is simple to use, intuitive, and it delivers a competitive result. If you've got any questions further to those that have been answered in this video, please reach out to your agent. Let's schedule a Zoom, just the group of us, and let's talk about those so that we can get you comfortable and confident leading into your online auction, if indeed we do need to go down that path. We've got the technology, we've got the process, and you've got the team to get your property sold. I'll be making a similar video just like this one for the buyers to alleviate and answer any questions that they might have so that they're comfortable bidding. We'll cover both sides of the coin. We'll put everybody together on auction day and we'll get your property sold. If you've got any other questions, please reach out and I'll speak to you soon.